Hey, what's up guys? It's Team Hard Life Captain Albright here. Our next video is now taking the Xtreme braid of the smaller strands or the smaller test lines and putting them on our smaller cast out reels. We're going to be doing our Avet Lx Raptor. We got two spools with 1,200 yards, 12 strands, 65 pound, and the 80 pound. Actually, we're going to do a few things. One is we're going to pack each reel completely just to see what kind of line capacity it has in both the 65 pound and the 80 pound. And then we're going to backtrack it off because what we want to do is set it up the way we have the other LX Raptors in the collection with the Jerry Brown. So that way when we go hit the beach, we can do a side-by-side comparison in exactly the same way we have the other Avets set up. Or within this saga, this is going to be the Xtreme braid versus the Jerry Brown. So here we go. Alright, so here we go. 65 pound, 12 strand Xtreme braid. Sounds tight. Sounds tight. That's great. There's no hole to spool it. Okay. Now that I got a hole in my spool, maybe we can start this. Yep, and since I didn't have the drill bit that size I was looking for, I just used a regular star headed right there. Captain overcome. Motto right there. Well, this braid also has a lot of twist in it. You can already see it right here. See it right there? All through the line already. so before I start working on this little deal here, I want y'all to see what I'm looking at. Okay, see that? And it doesn't look like much, but that's what I felt right there. And I want to see what it is. I don't know if you can see that, but see how I shape it down, that bump, that's all I felt right there, but that was enough to get me to stop. And I mean, I can see it, but it's so itty bitty in here. See, and there you go, look. See, and it's not messing with any of the braid, but it is that little junction point. And another one there, but instead of sitting there trying to take it all out, I'm just going to go ahead and splice it. Alright, so I found that little blemish, and instead of trying to get it out, I'm going to go ahead and splice it. And the reason being because I'm also wanting to test out how well it splices. I mean, I've tried the first one, but so far every reel I've gotten at least to get one good splice in. As far as I can tell, the braid seems very, very good. And I like that. And like I said, this is just the first of many steps that we're going to do with the braid to test it. Because at the end of the day, we are extremely concerned with what we sell for our customers. Because we use the exact same gear that we sell. We don't use one style and then turn around and use something else when we go to tournament. Now, everything we sell in here, we use and we put to the test, and we abuse it and abuse it and abuse it. Because we need to know how far it can go before it fails. And that way we can improve on it if we deem that it has not stood up to the test or it needs improvement. So that's one of the things you'll get with us. And so Side note, how's the rain been out y'all's way? We've been getting a lot of rain here. I guess 'tis the season, springy showers or whatever you want to call it. We're at the wrong season for it. And also, or who is putting up Halloween items so early? I forgot there is Thanksgiving. You know, got to think of Turkey Day. And by the way, Fat Boy loves to eat, so come on by, bring some plate of food when it happens. So, and I know most of y'all will be watching some kind of big sporting event and stuff like that. Cheers, because I will go fishing. That means I got open spots for me. Let's see. All right. I don't know about y'all, but that was a clean, quick splice. Nice, very nice. All right, so the other day I sliced the back of my hand with a piece of metal that was in the back shop, and had my son here, and the first thing he goes, Jesus, Dad, you could have, sliced a vein or tendon. I said, yeah, son. I said, that would have sucked because I couldn't have gone fishing. He thought it was pretty funny because I thought of fishing before everything else. So, I don't know. Just me, I'm a little addicted. Oh, wow. Look at that frame. Now, that is not good. That is a fray straight off the spool on the 60-pound 12 strand. See, that right there would cause to break off pretty much instantly as soon as you set the hook. Come on. There it is. That's not good. So I'll be cutting it right there. Or actually, what I'm going to do is, because I am in contact with the owners, I'm going to cut about a foot over here and a foot on the other side, and I'm going to send this back to them so they can find out and see how that happened, and we can go from there. Alright, so just found another one right there, and it's not a frayed line, but it's just the buildup that normally happens as the braid is getting woven. Let's see if I can get this one out so I don't have to. I mean, you can see the clump that's inside. It's inside the braid, and it's protruding a little bit. And right there, you don't even see it. So that feels kind of hard. Yeah, that's not coming out. Okay. So, and yes, obviously when I pick at it, it's going to be worse, kind of like a scab. The more you scratch at it, the worse it's going to get. But I'd rather do this now than have this little buildup catch a sharp edge and cut me off. I'm trying to give or ensure that the braid has the best chances of survival out there, because at the end of the day, I don't like to lose tackle and I don't like to lose fish. So here we go. Well, I just found another one right here, and it's about 4 yards away. So instead of me splicing right there and having to do another one, I'm going to go ahead and cut that section out. Just wanted to show some of the discoloration in the line. Can't really see it, but you have some lighter colors with some darker. I guess that's in the coating process. But over here on the spool, you can see those darker hues right here, right in the center. It's a darker color, and then off to the right and left, there's three different sections of dirtiness. I don't know what that may be from. Alright, so if you were to fill an LX up for casting, this would probably be the mark where we would stop. And we're at 700 yards of this 65 pound. There you go. 700 yards on the LX for casting. You see the nice gap I got inside there? So that way as you cast, it won't hit the sidewall and make you backlash. Now, for the guys that are still wanting to run bait and or use this reel for kingfishing off the pier and stuff like that, we want a lot of line on our reels. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it up all the way and see where it goes. Alright, so now that we're pretty much completely filled up, and here's the other thing that most people don't know as well. We've got 850, almost 855. Give me just a second. Back to what I was saying, what most people don't know and understand about the hollow core. The beauty of it is that it sits flat, so even though I've got it piled up on the sides, I don't ever have to worry about it leveling off and shifting left or right into the side spool. I actually learned that the hard way with the solid braid because I had a Shimano TLD 15 and I overspooled it like this thinking I could get a lot more line and it would work for me. But because it was a solid braid, it kept leveling off and shifting, and it actually went into the side plate on both sides while I was fighting a fish, and I ended up getting broke off. So I was very timid about doing it with the hollow core, but it worked out. So now I'm not afraid of doing this and not worrying about it, or I'm not afraid to do it like this with no worries. So when you want a lot of line capacity and don't have to worry about casting, then the hollow core braid will be the best way to go. Just saying. So now that we have filled up the LX Raptor with the 65 pound Xtreme braid, what I'm going to go ahead and do, correct that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually down spool this reel. I'm going to down spool it and use this same braid to fill up my MXL Raptor and an SX Raptor, just so I can get line capacities for both. So that way, for future reference, we'll be able to backtrack and say, hey man, this is what we've done with the 65 pound 12 strand of the Xtreme braid. So stay tuned for those next videos. We will be doing the SX and MXL Raptors with this. And for future reference, the MXL Raptors, a single speed and 2 speeds, all hold the same amount of line. So if you have either one of those other two, then you will know what you should be able to have on there with this kind of line. So on a final note, I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing to our channel and passing the word about us and Team Hard Life and what we've got to offer. We anticipate a lot of positive feedback. We've been very blessed to learn the knowledge we have, and we feel very blessed to be able to share it with all of y'all. We have a lot more videos, a lot more fishing to come, so y'all stay tuned as we will bring it. Check it later.